Hello YouTube, I'm Audio-Spektics. This is going to be my first bass tutorial. I've been getting asked quite a lot lately by people on Facebook and messages for YouTube about basses I've used and if I could do a tutorial. So I thought, why not? This is the, obviously I'm using Massive. Everyone likes using Massive. I like using Massive as well. It's really powerful. And I do use it quite a lot. I'll show you, well, I might as well start by showing you the sound you'll be getting once I've run through all the parameters and what you've got to do to get this sound. It's literally all straight out of Massive. There's no external effects coming from Logic or anything affecting it. Straight out of Massive. So you don't have to worry about having any extra effects or anything like that. This is the sound. It's a really nice growl, quite wide and fat, and it's like a sound that a lot of people I know have been trying to make, asking me how I've made it, because I've used it in a few of my own tunes. Yeah, so I started the oscillators. Turn all three oscillators on. You want your first oscillator on dirty throat. I suppose I use the clock to tell you where your dials are supposed to be facing. Make sure oscillator 1 is on bend minus over plus. Your amp all the way up. Your intensity kind of facing the Y on the word intensity, I suppose. Your wavetable position 2 o'clock-ish, and your pitch minus 12. That's running all the way through to filter 1. Oscillator 2, you want that on digigrain 2, wavetable position 12 o'clock, intensity about 1 o'clock, and your amp 12 o'clock, again running to filter 1, and also again bend minus over plus. Leave your pitch how it is. I'll run through all the LFO modulation a bit later on, so don't worry about that. Oscillator 3 is running through to filter 2, and it's on modern talking. Pitch minus 12, wavetable position about 4 o'clock, intensity all the way up, and your amp all the way up, and this one's on spectrum, not bend minus over plus. Your modulation oscillator, obviously turn it on if it's already off. Your pitch down to minus 12. Route your position and your phase to oscillator 2. Your position's about 9 o'clock and your phase is all the way to the left. Ring modulation, route that to oscillator 1 and about 1 o'clock again, I say. Don't need no noise on, no feedback. Turn insert 1 and insert 2, both of those on. On your insert 1, it's parabolic shaper. Dry and wet, about 1 o'clock. Drive, 12 o'clock. Insert 2, dry and wet, in between 11 and 12 o'clock, I'd say. And your pitch all the way up. This is sample and hold, by the way. Turn both your filters on. Your filter 1 is your screen filter. Filter 2, low pass 4 filter. Your cut off on filter 1 about 1 o'clock, scream about 10 o'clock, resonance about the same, 10 o'clock. Filter 2, cut off in between 2 and 3 o'clock, and your resonance 12 o'clock. On your voicing, unison up to 2 and voicing maximum 16. I've got it on polyphonic and to trigger always. I mean, you can change these, like this patch, however you like once you've made it. I've got it on polyphonic just because I like the way sometimes like the notes cross over. whereas if you put it on monophonic, sounds alright. Sounds pretty cool to glide. I mean, you can use it both ways, I suppose. But for now, we'll keep it on polyphonic. Your pitch cut off. None of this is turned on. It's quite a simple patch, really, but it's really quite effective. Yeah, envelope 4 is your master envelope. Sometimes it will start so the envelope slopes. So the longer you hold a note down, it won't sustain as loud. So just make sure you've got that turned up as well. There's nothing going on with envelope 1, 2 or 3, so don't worry about these. Right, we are using LFO 5, 6 and 7. LFO 5, your ratio is 1/4, amp all the way up, X-ray curve all the way up to the top, and your waveform's a sine. Just make sure it's set like that. And again, you can change this over like right in the middle, so it'll trigger slightly different. So I've got it like that just because I like the way. When you've got kick drums, whatever, it sounds like it comes from underneath the kick. No, it's quite effective like that. Yeah, LFO 5 is routed to the wavetable position on oscillator 2, the cutoff on filter 1. Also turn your EQ on over here in the effects part, and it's routed to low shelf, your boost, and your frequency. When you route it to these, make sure these are exactly the same. So like pull down so it's green on the left and grey on the right, whereas if this one it's green on the right, grey on the left. Just make sure these are exactly the same. So yeah, LFO 5 is routed to your low shelf, your boost, your frequency, the cutoff in filter 1, and the wavetable in oscillator 2. LFO 6, again ratio 1/4, amp all the way up. Again, it's a sine waveform, curve right up to the top, and this is routed just to the cutoff in filter 2 and the wavetable position on oscillator 1. LFO 7 is only routed to the one thing, to high shelf. Again, ratio 1/4, amp all the way up, you curve up. Different waveform this time. Just make sure that's exactly like that again. What else? Oh, EQing. Make sure it's turned on. Low shelf, pointing just after 12. Boost, about 10, 11 o'clock-ish. Frequency, just past 12. High shelf, about 1, 2 o'clock. Both effects are on. Bit of distortion using the Brauner tube here. Just past 9 o'clock, almost 10 I'd say when you're dry and wet. Drive, about 8 o'clock. Effects 2, dimension expander, right down the bottom here. Dry and wet, about 10 o'clock. When your size, about 12 o'clock. That's pretty much it. I've got a bit of vibrato on, just because I feel it gives the sound a little bit more movement, gives it a bit more, adds to like the growliness, I think. So with it off, and with it on, you don't want too much, so it just sounds terrible. Yeah, I mean, routing. Both your inserts are on, so make sure you've routed them to the correct places. Insert 1 to filter 1, just after filter 1. Insert 2 just after filter 2. Yeah, if you have any trouble with it, just yeah, obviously leave some feedback. Hit on my Facebook page as well. It's Audio-Spektics Dubstep. I'll be posting more tutorials on there, and I might have a download section as well, just for maybe a few patches and bits and bobs, maybe free downloads to some of my tunes. So yeah, hit that up, and thanks for listening.